Hump Day, Texas week. Alabama taking on the Longhorns Saturday. Longhorns Saturday, Bryant-Denny Stadium, 6 p.m. Central Time from Tuscaloosa, ESPN. has the call on the matchup. College Game Day will be everywhere in the building. Coach Saban had his final presser today prior to the matchup. We'll get into all of that. But you're rocking and rolling on the hottest show in these streets. Talking your Bama football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you in here. As always, folks, we bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button right now. Subscribe right now. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football. Go to that subscribe button. Hit it right now. You know you love it. Tap subscribe. Share the show to everybody that you know on every platform that you have. Because if you are addicted to Alabama football, you want to get other people that you know addicted as well following this show right here. Also, hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Smash the like button. Show us that support there. Trying to get this show 50 likes out the gate to start it. That daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate the support from you. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama football content. We want to hear from you tonight, the Bama fans. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. Number's also right there on the screen. But, let's get this thing popping off right now. A lot of you, the Bama fans, you want updates on the players, especially those that got banged up against MTSU on last week. So we'll get into that right now. Coach Saban did speak to reporters today during the SEC coaches teleconference, and he did provide updates here on 3 injuries. First and foremost, we all know Alabama taking on Texas this weekend inside Bryant-Denny. Marquee, huge matchup. But Saban does have the updates here on 3 injuries. Those 3 guys being Malachi Moore, defensive back, Jalen Key, defensive back, and Jihad Campbell at that linebacker position. First and foremost, all 3 are fine. They're all fine. They practiced today. They've went through drills. They've gone through other things there on the practice field. So all 3 guys did practice today. When you look at Malachi Moore and Jalen Key, according to Coach Saban, they did practice today. They have practiced some this week, despite the fact that they did not go on Monday. Saban mentioned that it'll be a game-time decision determined on how quickly are they or how close are they to 100% by game time against the Longhorns. Now, me personally, Eli, if Malachi and Jalen Key can both breathe by Saturday, they're going to go. They're both going to go. If both of those two have breath in their body Saturday, they're going to go. Especially with how competitive they are, how badly they want to be on the field, how much this game, this matchup matters to them. Malachi did have 2 tackles against MTSU. He's the most experienced player in the secondary. Jalen Key, the transfer from UAB, when he had like 4 tackles and 1 interception, played well against the Blue Raiders. So if both of these two have air in their body Saturday, which I think they will, they are both going to be wanting to be on that field for this matchup here against Texas. Saban mentioned on Monday that it was not anything serious for either of the two. He listed both of those guys as day-to-day. Didn't practice Monday, got some work in Tuesday, practiced today. So it'll be a game-time decision between Key and Malachi Moore. But in my opinion, I think you're going to see both of these two on the field against the Longhorns. When you look at Jihad Campbell, former 5-star at that linebacker position, he did not play against MTSU because he had his knee scoped Saban mentioned that he would more than likely doubtful out for game one, but Campbell good to go. He's ready to go for this Texas matchup. He's practiced all week. Saban said he has done fairly well in practice, barring any type of setback, which I don't see that happening. Jahad Campbell will play. He will go. He will suit up. He will take the field there against the Longhorns. That's big news there for the Crimson Tide. Now, in the event that Alabama wants to monitor the reps of Jalen Key and Malachi Moore, definitely keep your eyes on Earl Little II and Christian Story. Both of those two are the immediate backups. Earl Little is the immediate backup behind Malachi Moore at that star position in nickel. Christian Story, the immediate backup behind Jalen Key at that free safety position defensively. So both of these two know the system. Both of these two well acquainted within the system. Both of these two got reps against MTSU just last week. So if Coach Saban kind of wants to monitor the time of Malachi Moore and Jalen Key, you've got depth. You can look at Earl Little, back up to Malachi at star, Christian Story, back up to Jalen Key at that free safety spot. But we'll see what happens. Alabama takes on Texas Saturday. Bryant-Denny, marquee matchup. Everybody will be in Tuscaloosa. Ants on a bone on the campus there. But just want to provide you with some injury updates right there. All three guys, Malachi Moore, Jalen Key, Jahad Campbell, have all practiced this week. It's a good thing. Key and Moore, game time decision for Saturday. Campbell will go against the Texas Longhorns. But we'll take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we go to you, the Bama fans. We go to those phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Check your pulse. Bama takes on Texas this weekend. And we get a chance to hear from you. Light us up after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back rocking and rolling right with you to the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday. Continue hitting that like button, that thumbs up right there. Hit that subscribe button. Make this sure show your spot for Bama football. That daily super chat go, $100 daily. Super chat go, $100 right there. My man Bill! Bill from New York getting us rocking right now. $6 donation, dropping the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that, man, for my man Bill. Getting us going here for Texas week. Like I mentioned, I still think Malachi Moore and Jalen Key both play in this game. They start the game. I believe they both gonna play this game. I'm just saying, according to Coach Saban, he's looking at both as game time decisions here for Texas. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from? You're live on the show, caller. You are a live caller. Or hopefully we can get that call back there in queue there, 205-448-1358. We're going to grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're a live caller. You're on the show. Well, hopefully we can get these calls rolling in here, 205-448-1358, 205-448-1358 here. We're going to have my man Eli in the production studio definitely getting those phone lines worked out, sorted out, things of that nature, because we definitely want to get your calls in. We want to hear from you, your thoughts, your viewpoints for this matchup, Alabama and Texas, Saturday, Bryant-Denny. Especially after last year's game went down to the wire in Austin. Final score was 20-19. Bryce Young had to get it done on the final drive, setting up Will Reichert, game-winning field goal right there. A lot of craziness that happened, took place, transpired in that game. There was also the hit that Dallas Turner put on Quinn Ewers. Took that brother out! Took out old poor Quinn Ewers there. But that was a game. That was a game. That was a matchup. But Nick Saban knows. Coach Saban thoroughly understands. Alabama's got to be on their A game this week. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of anticipation going to this matchup. You got Steve Sarkisian, was once at Alabama, at Texas. You got Kyle Flood, once at Alabama, at Texas. You got Jeff Banks, once at Alabama, now at Texas. You got Bo Davis, once at Alabama, now at Texas. And you got Nico Johnson on the staff at Texas. He was once former Alabama player, Alabama linebacker. So there's a lot here on the line. There's a lot here to expect. There's a lot here that we have to filter through. So it'll be a fun matchup here on Saturday. But as you guys are continuing getting your thoughts to call in, 205-448-1358, the number to dial to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. Got an awesome call topic here, Eli. You got several former Alabama players, 12 to be exact, that have been named team captains for the regular season for their respective NFL teams this year. And Bryce Young, how about Bryce Young as a rookie quarterback being named a team captain by his peers for the Carolina? Mini camps and training camp, mini camps and OTAs and all that different thing right there, and having Frank Reich, head coach, make him QB1. Bryce played well in the preseason, especially his matchup there against the Detroit Lions. And now, as a rookie, a lot of people would have thought that maybe it would be year 2 before Bryce named the captain, but Bryce said, I'm ready now. Put me in the frying pan now. I'm ready to cook now. I'm ready to be that guy now. But Bryce Young named the captain, voted a captain by his peers. Kudos to Bryce Young. First game of the season will be Sunday for Bryce as he takes on those Atlanta Falcons, them dirty birds in Atlanta. Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Sunday. It'll be a fun matchup to check out right there. We're going to go to a break right here, folks, on the show. on Touch That Down when we get back. Begin the topic number 2 of the conversation, keys to victory for Bama against Texas. What does Bama need to do to ensure itself a win at home over the Longhorns? We'll get into topic number 2. Hold all calls for the next 10 minutes, or call back for the next 10 minutes because we definitely want to hear from you. We'll continue in my own words right after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on, folks? We're back into the action, rocking and rolling from the break on a Wednesday. Hottest show in the streets here, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate you guys checking us out here. We got a message board. Remember the message board? Touchdown Alabama Magazine, touchdownalabama.com, the message board for all of you fans that are trying to be in that new group, new wave of fans to help us rebuild and or regrow the message board. The link to that can be found in the chat line or in the description. Check out our message board right now. Get involved in that. Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But here we go, Eli. Topic 2 of the conversation here, the keys to victory for Alabama against Texas. Steve Sarkisian is trying to become the 3rd former Nick Saban assistant, joining Jimbo Fisher and Kirby Smart to take down Nick Saban. Steve Sarkisian trying to be the 3rd guy. We all remember Coach Sark as the offensive coordinator for Alabama, the mastermind behind that wonderful 2020 team, 2020 offense, and the COVID-shortened year that took this team wire to wire offensively, undefeated, college football playoff national championship. That thing right there. So now Sarkisian coming back to Bryant-Denny Stadium for the first time since 2020, trying to become the 3rd former assistant to knock out Coach Saban. But what are the keys to victory for Bama in this game? What are the keys to the Crimson Tide being able to handle the Texas Longhorns and show the nation you slept on us, you disrespected us, you talked all that yak this offseason. Now we here. We ain't going nowhere. Now we here. And we putting our foot on your neck, and we ain't taking it off. So, what are the keys to victory here for Alabama in this matchup? Well, Eli's got them on screen. Here are the 3 keys. And number 1, Alabama's defensive front has to make this a living nightmare for Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers got rocked a bit against Rice last week. Does Quinn Ewers still have the stress from what happened last year? Dallas Turner, Bama's defensive front's got to get after Quinn Ewers early and often. Get after them early and often. Number 2, Alabama's offensive line has to establish that dominant presence early and often against Texas defensive front. Bo Davis is the defensive line coach at Texas. Bo Davis was once in Tuscaloosa. Davis is going to mix things up. He's going to stunt some things. He's going to twist some things. He's going to try to frustrate this Alabama offensive line, stop the run, get after Jalen Milroe. Bo Davis has had this game circled for a minute here. So, Alabama's offensive line, do your job. Establish that dominant presence early in the run game, early in pass protection against Texas. Last but not least, Jalen Milroe. He's got to tear up Texas secondary. Milroe's got to tear it up. Stack together another big-time performance. You went out there big time against MTSU. 13 of 18 passing, $194, 5 total touchdowns. You became the first quarterback in Bama history to account for 3 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing in the same game. But Milroe's got to really pop the cork on this Texas secondary. Starting this thing off with the Alabama defensive line, this defensive front, you got to get after Quinn Ewers. You cannot have this young man play pitch and catch with Xavier Worthy and others all day. Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, Deontay Lawson, Quandarius Robinson, they showed me a little something last week. These guys have got to harass Quinn Ewers. Because I feel like if you hit him, and you hit him early, and you hit him often, and you hit him a lot, you put some shots on his body, it's going to be a long day for Texas. You put some shots there on Quinn Ewers, it's going to be a long day. Because they no longer have Bijan Robinson. That was a big part of their offense. Now gone. He's in the NFL. Last week, Quinn Ewers, they had a rough time getting him to hook up with Xavier Worthy on those deep balls, on those timing routes to take the top off of secondary. What helps your secondary out? Your defensive line coming after the quarterback. I would not be surprised if Kevin Steele has got some stuff really dialed up for this game. Because Kevin Steele wants to prove I can still coach this at an elite level against the best of the best. Kevin Steele still wants to prove that. So it's going to be an ultimate chess match between Kevin Steele and Steve Sarkisian. That's going to be a chess match right there. What is Steve Sarkisian going to call for Quinn Ewers? And how is Kevin Steele going to counteract that? This Bama defensive front has got to make life a living you-know-what for Quinn Ewers all day long. Got to get that done there. When you look at the Alabama offensive line, if the offensive line played well against MTSU, you had some snaps that can be better, and Seth McLaughlin will get that better. But this is a game where you got to show that nasty if you're the Bama offensive line. You got to mow some people down and get this running game going. You got to really mow some people down and get this elite style of run blocking going here. I mean, you got to. Like I said, Bo Davis was once here in Tuscaloosa. He knows the expectation of this place. He knows the magnitude of this place. He's been in this place before. He is going to have that defensive line fired up, ready to go. Eric Wolford, this offensive line, got to be fired up, ready to go. Not only matching that intensity, but mowing Texas's defensive line down to where these running backs, they're getting 3 to 4 yards to carry before the first defender touches them. For quarterback Jalen Milroe, he's having time in that pocket to eat some Twizzlers, drink a nice Sprite, two-step around the backyard, listen to some Ludacris, move, get out the way, all of that as he's throwing the football, and as he's running the football as well. So this Alabama offensive line got to be on their physicality A game this week. And then last but not least here for Jalen Milroe, I mean, all eyes are going to be on him. Like that Tupac biopic and that Tupac song, all eyes are going to be on Milroe this week. He's from Texas. He's from Texas. He's from Texas. All eyes, all expectations are going to be on him this week. He's got the college football world in the palm of his hand. So many major talking heads. He can't do it. He's not a quarterback. He's a great athlete. ESPN's College Game Day will be in Tuscaloosa. Marty and McGee will be in Tuscaloosa. Paul Feinbaum will be in Tuscaloosa. Everybody will be right there at the Mecca of college football. Brian Denny. Boy, Jalen Milroe can crush some hearts. Jalen Milroe can cause a lot of people to eat crow this weekend. He's got a chance to deliver a big-time performance. All eyes will be on him. He goes out here and he lights this puppy up. Woo! It's going to be something. It is going to be something. But those are your keys right there when you look at the likes of the Texas, when you look at the Bama defensive front, getting out the Quinn Ewers, offensive line, setting that physical presence early, and then Jalen Milroe, all eyes on him. He's ready. We're gonna go to our next break here, folks. Well, we're gonna actually keep going here on the show. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun matchup, Eli and Brian Denny. It's gonna be a fun matchup for this team. Because Saban talked about it. This is the game where you figure out where are we as a team. This is a game you figure out where are you as an individual player. This is a game where you figure out, do I have what it takes? Do we have what it takes to be a team that can run the table? Do I have what it takes as a player to win my one-on-one matchup on the field, regardless of what my position is? This is going to be a fun matchup. Fans are going to be going crazy. LED lighting features going to be on one. Eli, you're going to be down on the field getting all of this. I'm going to be upstairs in my box hoping that we stack together another good food showing. But we'll see what it is. We're going to go to our break right here, folks, on Touch That Dab. When we get back, phone lines and Cool Key, we'll go to you. We'll grab your thoughts, your calls, your conversations. Line us up. Time to hear from you, the people that make it go round, the Bama fans, you guys after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, let's go. Bama Nation, it's Wednesday. Hump Day, hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA Texas Week. Coach Saban spoke today. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I'm ready. Ready to go inside Brian Denton to get this thing popping here. Gotta show some love to Don Parker! Agent DP with that $5 donation. Dropping the love there in the hat. Appreciate that from Don Parker. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate you guys. We now go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Daniel from Phoenix City.
Daniel, what's going on, man? Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday, sir. Well, I've got statement I like to make and then a question for you. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I hadn't called in probably since January. But I'd made the statement that, I look forward to seeing what Jalen Milroe could do. And I was extraordinarily impressed with that young man the other day. He was killing it. Just the few months difference it's just night and day. He looked so much more just comfortable and stable. I mean, would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Milroe spent a lot of time with quarterback coach, Coach Stanfield, which I got a chance to speak with him, and just the work that those two put in, and not just the comfortability in the pocket, the comfortability in his decision-making, the comfortability on his deep ball. And that was what a lot of people had concerns about. Could Jalen Milroe throw that deep ball? Well, he did it 3 times against MTSU. Once to Isaiah Bond, once to Amari Nyblack, and once more to Jermaine Burton. So he showed us, hey, I can put this ball where you want it to be at, and I can take broken plays and make them look good. So I came away very impressed by what he was able to do on the field, but also how he handled himself to the media, how he handled himself amongst his teammates. This team is all the way bought into him.
Oh, I mean, for sure. And how about, I know it was MTSU, but how about those receivers getting separation, man?
They got separation. My thing was they caught the football. You didn't have the drops. Yes, they got separation. They won on the route. That was important. But along with that, when the ball hit their hands, they did not drop it. And that provided
beautiful.
Huge confidence for Milroe also to know I can put this ball on the hands of my wide receivers and tight end also, and they do not drop the football. I was happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. I love seeing that. Now, on to the question I have for you is, based off your assessment, how would you say the defense looked this opening game versus last year's opening game? Are you already more comfortable with the defense versus last year?
I'm a lot more comfortable. Kevin Steele had those guys flying around, shooting gaps, making quick adjustments, in-game adjustments. I mean, you saw your linebackers, Dallas Turner, Quandarius Robinson, Deontay Lawson, firing off the ball, creating pressure. You force turnovers. The secondary, I mean, Terrion Arnold played like a dog out there. Night and day better.
Yeah, I mean, you and I talked about that again in January, late December, about would he stay at corner or move to safety. I mean, I was very impressed. Again, night and day. But anyway, Steven, I appreciate you taking my call. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Daniel from Phoenix City calling in, getting us started here on a Wednesday. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is AB from Birmingham.
What's going on, brother?
Man, I've been listening to your shows. I ain't been calling in. I just been sitting back, watching everybody else do their thing. But I've been telling people all season and last year when I seen Jalen Milroe, he put me in the mind of Vince Young. Everybody talking about Michael Vick. I see that man as Vince Young. What's
funny, AB, is that's Milroe's childhood idol. That was the first jersey he ever got, was a Vince Young jersey.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I ain't know that at all. But the thing is, everybody was saying everybody's saying the social media, all the outlets said the same exact thing about Vince Young, what they saying about Jalen Milroe. So I'm driving from Laredo, Texas. Now I'm in New Orleans. I'm coming off the road just to be in that stadium on the 50-yard line Saturday. So I can see from my own eye what the defense talking about, what the offense talking about. The offensive line really didn't impress me. I I know they were talking about, yeah, we go mold them, we go dog them, we go do this and do that, but y'all ain't showed me nothing. It seemed like the same thing what they were saying last year is slowly coming around this year. I don't know, just because that was the first game, you know. I really hope them guys in the front line get it together. And I'm sure they ain't hang up because I don't want to take too much time, but I really believe that Jalen Milroe gonna be a special guy for Alabama. Sorry, Texas, you couldn't get him. But roll tide, man, and carry on, Steve. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Appreciate AB. They're calling in from Birmingham. I want to address something here, Eli. The sacks that were given up by Alabama against MTSU, that was not on the offensive line. Offensive line did a great job. That was on the running backs not picking up the blitz. The running backs did not pick up the blitz there, and that caused the sacks. Now, yes, Seth McLaughlin had some snaps that were low. That's on him. He'll clean that. But as far as the sacks, that was more so on the running backs not handling the job in blitz pickup. And Coach Robert Gillespie has been on those running backs all week about that. We're going to take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky, man. What's going on, brother?
Doing good, Mike. Mike, you said it all summer. Jalen Milroe, your boy put on a show last week, and he's turned up for this one.
Hey, man, I'm just an old hill jack from Kentucky. What do I know, brother? I'm actually an Alabamian, man. I tell you, bro, I mean, his high school film, I didn't have no concerns about his long ball whatsoever. He'd been slinging it since he was in high school, 50 yards in the air. I wasn't concerned about that. I was just concerned about was he going to have time to do it. And that's the key to this game this weekend. You know, the offensive line's got to give him time. I think this game's going to come down, Stephen, to seriously, whoever wins the most first downs is going to win the game. Whoever keeps the other offense behind the chains is going to be able to turn their linebackers loose. And I think that'll be the difference in the game, bro. I think it comes down to a battle of the big boys, and I think we're up to the task. What do you think, brother?
Mike, I see it, and I agree with you. Whichever offense can establish will, keep the chains moving, and whichever defense can consistently get off the field on third down, that's going to tear the tape right there. Mike, I agree with you.
I think that's the key, brother. Roll Tide, man. There's an orange monster coming to Tuscaloosa this weekend, but I think we got the antidote for him. I think we got the silver bullets in our defense, brother. Roll Tide, everybody. Have a good night.
Mike from Kentucky, they're calling in. Appreciate him showing love on the show. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
It's Isaac from Mobile.
Doing great, my man. How you feeling there, Isaac?
I'm feeling good, man. This is my first time calling in.
Congratulations to you. Welcome in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Now I agree with you though about what you said. Some of the keys for the game. I feel like hitting Quinn Ewers early. You know what I'm saying? Not letting him get comfortable. You don't want to let him get hot. But I think we gotta get that pressure, like you said. Mainly from the interior, though. I think our edge guys are good. I think we need that interior pressure, though. Big Keenan, big Otis, Tim Smith, those guys.
Right.
But, man, I think the defense looked good, man. I was kind of, last year everybody was on Pete. And I kind of felt bad for Pete a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He getting dogged, like, every week. But I think you can see the difference from last year to this year. Like, them boys flying around. They playing physical, they aggressive. I mean, you can just see the difference. So I think defense good, man. I feel like we got to take care of business, though. I think if we prove a point against Texas this week, I think we going all the way, Steve. Appreciate it, man. Roll Tide.
Appreciate Isaac from Mobile calling in. Eli, I go back to fall camp. What did Terrion Arnold tell us? Kevin Steele puts us in the mood to play football. no offense to Pete Golden, but I never heard a single player during Pete Golden's 4 to 5 year run in Tuscaloosa ever say, Pete Golden puts me in the mood to play football. Terrion Arnold, Kevin Steele puts us in the mood to play football. And you saw that week 1 against MTSU. I think you're about to see even more of that Saturday against Texas. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Mike from Huntsville, first-time caller. Love the show.
Mike, what's going on, man?
Well, I tell you what, first off, I agree with all the keys that you named, and I just got a little bit different take on a couple of them. First off, offensively, we got to establish a run. And like the one caller said, it helps to be in 2nd and 5, so first down runs are critical. And I think to do that, Texas did really well against the run themselves last week against Rice, inferior competition. But we got to mix in a little bit more of Milroe tucking the ball into Jace's belly, pulling it out, and beating them to the edge. So I think it's critical that we establish a run to include Jalen as a weapon. What do you think?
I think you got to do that, Mike. You got to. Tommy Reese has got to pull that out. As much as you want to run the ball between the tackles, have the backs bounce it outside, show the power and speed, but you got to utilize Jalen Milroe on some RPO things, let him read it, when to keep it, when to give it to the back, come around the corner. You got to use all of your weapons here, especially in this run game. You got to.
Absolutely. And defensively, we got to stop the run. We got to stop the run, make them one-dimensional. Ewers is not going to be anybody with his feet. I mean, he just doesn't have the capability to be anybody with his feet. So we stop the run, make them one-dimensional. What that's going to do is that's going to free up, the guys like Lawson and some of those blitzers who were successful this past week, and Braswell and the interior guys as well, but make them one-dimensional. They were challenged to run. They didn't do very well running the ball against Rice. So we got to shut that down, make them one-dimensional. I have more confidence in this set of DBs. Worthy's fast. Worthy is super fast, but you know what? Our DBs are fast too. So that's my key on defense. Stop the run.
Big key right there coming from Mike out of Huntsville. Appreciate him calling in. And this is why, this is such a big game for the defensive line. This is a big game for Tim Keenan. This is a big game for Jaheim Otis. This is a big game for Justin Aboigbe. This is a big game for Tim Smith. Being able to clog the middle, not allow Texas to have any open lanes in the run game. Clog the middle of that line, reset Texas's offensive line, and really make it hard for them to run the football. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Steve, my boy, what's the word? What's good with you?
Jay, what's happening, man? Here's the game. Here's Texas. Here's the matchup. As you like to say, set this thing up for the decade. Let's go, Jay.
Hold on, no. This is G.
Oh, my bad, G. You and Jay almost sound just alike. My bad, G. What's happening?
What's going on, man? What's going on? One quick touch. I might disagree with the intentional QB runs with Milroe, just because Saturday kind of showed me after Milroe, the drop behind Milroe may be too substantial to do direct runs. I don't think we should bail out the O-line with trying to figure out a new way. I think Saban should get off that bullshit and bench Dalcourt. When it comes to the O-line, it can't have any weak links because it's a drag, it's a weak lacking in the chain, so it's gonna always pop. I don't know what the hell Dalcourt got going on to have had this endless life supply of chances. Steve, who?
It's
who
time. I've been saying it's time to go to Terrence Ferguson. Way more upside, way more physicality, way more toughness. And when T. Ferg got in the game against MTSU, you saw the offensive line have the identity it wants to have. It's time to go to Ferguson.
This is what I've been saying. What's been worrying me with Saban the past 2 seasons. You can clearly see. I don't care what nobody say. It's on paper. He don't play the best guys from top to bottom, from the whole chart. Some guys who are playing are some guys he like. And people need to accept that because Saban is human. So human relations will vary between interaction and interaction. But when it comes to football, you can't be selfish. You holding back this team with that shit he got going on for that. I hate to even talk like that about it, but at this point it's foolish because it's also unfair to the other 30 offensive linemen you have. You're not even doing the old school Saban shit. If your starting left tackle not good enough to start, where we used to put him, Steve?
They putting him on the bench.
You putting them on the bench, or you putting them on the guard. Barrett Jones played guard. Alice Leatherwood played guard. Evan Neal played guard. When their ass weren't ready to play tackle, they played guard. So we know from common sense, we know Elijah Pritchett is better than Dalcourt. We know from common sense when we brought in 7 linemen last year through the recruiting. If you got 7 linemen, we know by the numbers, 3 of them probably better than Dalcourt. I'm worried with what we're gonna do with that O-line because like interior rush is the worst rush. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather go against J.J. Watt versus a line that can't do shit with Aaron Donald. You know what I'm saying? It's just what we gonna do with that, Steve? Have you seen anything in practice this week, or is that still they boy out there for right guard?
They still, in practice this week, they still have Dalcourt out there. In the game, will he be out there starting? We'll look at that and see. But I for one, have looked at when Terrence Ferguson's out there, that's a completely different line. He brings another type of element of nasty out there. You can put Elijah Pritchett at guard. He's 6'7". That should work in a phone booth. But Darian
No, Steve. That's how we used to do it.
That's how. And I don't understand why Dalcourt's been at Alabama since 2019. And it's taking you this long, and it still looks like he's a turnstile out there. Guys are getting by him every single time. You got to put somebody there that masters that spot. Dalcourt has not mastered that spot at all.
And like I said, what makes it so crazy, Steve, is the number of replacements we have for him. Like I said, you got Pritchett, you got McElderry, you got a plethora.
You got Omar Sanganine, you got dudes.
You got Jaden Roberts. So this is what I'm saying. So what's going on for him to be over guys he's not better than?
It all. Go ahead.
At this point, what's going on, Steve? Like, for real, bro. Like, come on. It's just absolutely just really holding the team back, Steve. You know what I'm saying? The O-line, if you watch the O-line, everybody handled their business. Everybody was handling their business. Caden probably even looked like the best guy on the line. But when you soft in the middle, it's over, Steve. But I'm going to let you go, man.
Appreciate G calling in from Raleigh, giving his thoughts on the show. At some point, you're going to have to go to Ferguson. At some point, you're going to have to look at somebody else in that left guard spot because we've seen this so many times in the past from Coach Saban. If there's a guy that's clearly not doing the job, yank him, put somebody else in there. We've seen it. When are we going to see it here in terms of the offensive line? Hopefully we see it against Texas. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Michael from Pennsylvania.
What's happening, brother? How we feeling, Michael?
How's it going?
My only concern Saturday is our offensive line. Just like your last caller, Delcourt, why? He does not need to start. He's horrible. I mean, don't you think at this point Coach Sabian should say, okay, this is enough. Sit him down.
I mean, it's at some point he has to say it.
Huh?
I said at some point he has to say it, especially when you got other guys with higher ceilings, higher upsides, and can offer you more.
Yes. And he's not a pounder. He's not aggressive. People get by him. I don't know what more we all need to see. Bench him. Because this game Saturday is going to come right down to the offensive line. People keep saying defensive line. Nope, offensive line. We have to get out there and just pound the living daylights out of Texas. And with him in there, we're not going to have it. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that's how I see it Saturday.
I mean, Michael, it's time to look at other guys at that left guard spot. Like I mentioned, whether it's Terrence Ferguson, whether it's sliding Elijah Pritchett from tackle to guard, whether it's looking at Jaden Roberts in that spot. You got a wealth of talent that can play at left guard. You got a wealth of talent. It's time to look at this wealth of talent that you've recruited that you have.
And when Ferguson's in the game and he's playing, he reminds me of the old offensive line where we used to just line it up and just beat the daylights out of you.
I remember Coach Ferguson in fall camp. I remember Coach Saban mentioned about Ferguson in fall camp that he looks at him as a starter. Well, if you look at Ferguson as a starter, make him the starter.
Thank you. That's what we need Saturday. We need that grunt. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to pound you 10 yards down the field. And I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing it. That's what we need Saturday. And if the other guy's in, we're going to be in trouble. Got to move the ball, hold on to the ball, run the ball, get those two tight ends in there, and just smash it down Texas' face all evening long.
Appreciate Michael calling in from Pennsylvania, giving us his thoughts there, his passion here on a Wednesday. Getting ready for Bama, Texas this weekend. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Yes, Stephen. This is Alan X from Alexander City, Alabama. How you doing, man?
Doing great, Alan. I can't complain, man. I cannot complain, man. Having a good day today. Just getting myself ready for Alabama, Texas, because everybody's going to be in Tuscaloosa Saturday.
That's right, man. Roll Tide this week. I got a question for you, Stephen. I've been thinking about this, and I said I'm going to get your perspective on it. Basically, when I saw Tyler Buckner go out there to be the backup behind Jalen, I said to myself, I went back to before the spring game, and I know Nick Saban. I just want your thoughts on this. I believe Nick Saban knew going into that spring game that maybe Jalen Miro was kind of ahead of Ty Simpson. And I believe that if he thought Ty was going to be the good backup or be capable, I don't think he would have went after Buckner. But I believe by him going after Buckner, and everybody was surprised after the A-Day game, I believe he already talked to Buckner way before the A-Day game, and Nick Saban knew right away that he was going to need a good backup just in case Jalen Miro went down, just like Bryce went down, and Jalen had to come in last year. What you think?
I can see that, Alan. I can see that. And this is no offense at all to Ty Simpson. Good young man, good player, strong family. But for Ty Simpson, he came from a small 1A high school in Tennessee. So the competition wasn't at its best. And when you go from 1A ball to the SEC, that's like jumping from high school to the NFL. Like, that's a big jump. And for Ty, It's the ball comes out of his hands pretty. It does. But when you look at the competition that you are facing, is he ready for that type of competition? And I think that had to have been on Saban's mind. The ball comes out of his hands pretty in practice, no doubt about that. But is Ty Simpson ready to take on this type of competition in the SEC? Big deal here. So that's why I feel like Saban made the move to go to Notre Dame and to get a Tyler Buchner who at least has 13 games of college football experience under his belt prior to MTSU.
You're 100% right, Steve. And, hey, I appreciate you, man. Love your show. God bless you and your family, man, and roll tide.
Appreciate Alan Exner calling out of Alexander City here to the show. And I mean, and Ty Simpson's talented. He's immensely talented. It's just, once again, when you come from a high school where the competition isn't as big and you make a jump from high school to the SEC, it's a whole lot you got to learn. It's a whole lot you got to do. And on top of that, Ty didn't get a lot of in-game reps last season at all as a freshman. We'll see how much growth can he make. Backup quarterback, but it's interesting. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Hi, Steven. It's Z and Corley from Lake Martin.
How we feeling?
We're feeling great after the first game. We were there live in person. We were looking for you. We wanted an autograph or picture with you or something, but we didn't get the chance to see you. Maybe next time.
Oh, man, I hate that.
I know. We watch every show. Even if we don't catch it live, we'll watch it, on the replay. But my husband wants to talk some football with you.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, this is Z. How you think our secondary can match up with the Texas?
I think the secondary matches up well. I know Xavier Worthy's fast. He's a speed demon, but the point is you got to give him the ball. And Quinn Ewers has had problems hooking up with Xavier Worthy consistently. Now, I don't know if Bama's going to put McKinstry on him or Terry Arnold on him, but I think the secondary matches up well.
Another question. You think McQuillan, the running back, can we can pound the ball?
I think Jace McClellan is in for a very big game. He's from Texas, played at Alito High School in Texas. His whole family, Texas fans. I think McClellan is in for a marquee matchup. Remember last year, he had the 81-yard touchdown run in Austin. I think he's ready for a big game this time around, too.
And I really think they're sleeping on Jalen as well.
I think so also. Jalen Milroe from Texas, Katy, Texas. I mean, he grew up a Vince Young fan. Vince Young was the first jersey he ever got. So this is a big game for Milroe, too. I agree. But appreciate the call right there coming into the show. We're going to go to this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Steve, what up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence.
That is the man, Jay. The game setting you up for the decade. Let him have it, Jay.
Steve, we calling in talking about the offensive line, and everybody complaining about Dalcourt, but I ain't see nobody dominate the point of attack other than Caden Proctor and my right tackle. JC, that's all I seen. I'm talking about the point of attack. Soon as the ball hiked, who win that first 3 yards, Steve? I saw McLaughlin get pushed into the backfield a couple times. You see what I'm saying? So if we're going to complain about one guy, we need to complain about the right guard, the center, and the left guard. Because Tyler Buchner, he got pushed back a couple times, man. Y'all talking about we want to be physical and dominant and all this. Who wins the point of attack? Not when it's a running back and it's a pile of people and you come off and you pick off a linebacker. That's not football, dude. They need to take that out the game. 300-pounders just coming knocking over a 115-pound dude trying to make a tackle state. Man, that ain't football, man. It's who wins the point of attack, Steve, right? And we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that on the D-line. We didn't do that on the O-line. So we need to be complaining about everything right there, Steve. Who gonna win them first 3 yards? Because I seen a lot of going backwards. I don't know. Did you see it?
I saw some plays where guys went backwards too, Jay. I saw plays where McLaughlin went backwards. I saw plays where on the defensive line you didn't see that push from the interior of the defensive line. I mean, yeah, you saw your edge rushers making plays. Yeah, you saw Deontay Lawson out there, but you didn't see consistently the guys like Keenan and Boyd being Otis reset MTSU's offensive line. You didn't see that.
Steve, that's the main point, man. All summer we heard you running around with a run the damn ball hat on and shirts and merchandise and all this. Wait, man, when the point of attack should have been what's on them hats and stuff. When soon as you hike that ball, Seth. Tyler, you talk this big game at the SEC, what's the name, and all of that. Bro, you should never take a step back. But hey, Caden Proctor played amazing, Steve.
He did.
You got a true freshman out there looking like he is a 15-year veteran. Like, that man is amazing, and we need to get him his flowers now.
I'm Jay, first true freshman of the Saban era since Cam Robinson to start at left tackle. And he went out there and did his thing. And J.C. Latham at right tackle did his thing.
Man, listen, man, Texas got a couple nose guards. For those who don't know football, that's the big man in the middle. That's going to be over the man that's hiking the ball on offense. Those two people, man, see, that's going to be a matchup for us, man. I don't know his name, Short or Square or whatever, but for Texas, man, he a bad man. He's a SEC lineman, man. We can't go into this game half-stepping at all on either side of the line of scrimmage, Steve. But Roll Tide, I love y'all, man.
Appreciate my man Jay from Florence, the passion, the realism, the conversation of you got to bring the A game. Bama's got to bring the A game. Every spot of the ball got to bring this A game. Steve Sarkisian is trying to become the third former Nick Saban assistant to beat him. And he's coming in there highly confident. He's coming in here highly motivated. Bama has got to be on its A game all across the board. We grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, Steve. It's Danny calling from Tuscaloosa.
What's going on, Dan?
Nothing much, man. Look, everybody just need to chill out. They worry too much. Look, I know the offensive line will be just fine. I want to talk about the defense. I'm just looking at this. The only way we're really going to put it to Texas, all we got to do is just cut out their wide receivers. That's it. They don't got the running backs like from last year. They all they got is a tight end, but, you put the wide receivers out of position and stuff, what can they do? He was not going to have time because he's going to be looking for Dallas Turner again coming at him. And then plus Oldest going to be coming at him. That's all Alabama really needs to do because Kevin Steele, he's bringing back that old school defense, that 4-2-5. He's going to line them up, and he's going to put the corners up, and we're going to play man-to-man. If you can beat us man-to-man, then we're going to make some changes. But if you can't, it's going to be a long day.
Absolutely, Danny. Absolutely. Kevin Steele, I would not be surprised if he has a few more blitz look packages that he may try to unveil in this match against Texas. It's going to be a good one. Appreciate Danny calling in there from Tuscaloosa. We got this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You are live on the show, caller.
Hey, what's going on, Stephen A? This is Izzy at from Phoenix City. How you doing, man?
Man, I cannot complain here, man. Doing good. We got Bama. We got Texas here on Saturday. Everybody's giving their thoughts. What's on your mind?
Man, I got to say I do agree with they're saying about the offensive line. I was saying the same thing. But what I got tonight, man, I want you to do me a favor. If Jalen Miro does his thing this Saturday against Texas, I want to stamp his new nickname, Jalen Mo Real. You got to do that, man. I think the man is more realer than we even know right now.
I feel that.
Jalen Mo Real. Let's do that, Stephen A. From Easy out of Phoenix City, Alabama, man. Let's stamp that.
Appreciate the call right there coming in. Eli, let's put that on the whiteboard. We'll put that on the whiteboard there. Jalen Mo Real. Jalen Mo Real. We'll put that down. Definitely, he goes out here and has a heyday against Texas. We'll take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen M. It's Robert from Mobile.
Robert's back. What's happening, Rob?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man.
Hey, I've been listening to a lot of folks, put down the offensive line. I think I may be a little too large of a degree. I mean, it's just been one game. Can we give them more than one game before we, start to, doubt them?
Robert, I look at this. I watched the game. Now, the 2 sacks that happened was not on the offensive line. The running backs did not pick up the block, whether it was Jam Miller, whether it was, and both of them happened with Jam Miller's in the game. Jam Miller's got to improve on his pass blocking, and he'll get better with that. But those 2 sacks, that was not on the O-line.
I mean, we all know we need to get better. That's no doubt. Everybody thinks you need to get better. Maybe with the exception of Florida State and some teams like that. But every team has seen areas where they need to improve. This first game out, which that's why you play these little lower tier teams because you don't have no preseason in college football. So you kind of try to ease that in with your preseason to see where you need to fix. The tweaks you need to make. I would like to have seen the offensive line push Middle Tennessee around more, open up lanes for the running back. So that's an area where they need to improve. But I'm not ready to, to throw them overboard yet. Especially, I think it's the left tackle that everybody's dumping on tonight. Not ready to throw him overboard yet. Let's give him after this game against Texas, or during this game against Texas. Let's see if he makes any improvement. If he doesn't, okay, then maybe Nick may want to start looking. But one game, I'm not ready to start looking yet for the left tackle. But Jalen Miro played very well, as we all saw, and that was encouraging. And but it was really, and I really like the running back. The wide receiver. I'm seeing an improvement separation, especially with Burton. I mean, man, where was that when Bryce was on the team? I know it's again Middle Tennessee, but wow, that was some serious separation Saturday that we saw out of him and some of the other receivers. So let's slow the roll just a little bit on the offensive line as far as calling saying somebody ain't that good yet. Let's give them a little more time before we make the conclusion that somebody's better. And Nick Saban wouldn't have started him if he didn't think he gave him the best chance to win. It may reveal later that might be an error in judgment on Coach Saban's part, but I need more than one game before I'm ready to say that's the case.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Robert from Mobile calling in, giving his thoughts on the show. This is the reason why this Texas matchup is a big matchup. It's a big matchup to see what this Alabama team is for real. But Eli, get the horn ready. Let's get my air pump ready. Here we go. We got a lot of super chats to get to. We start Jay Townsend with the $10 donation. Dropping the love right there, Jay Townsend From Jay Townsend, we got Ephraim Davis. Ephraim Davis with a $5 donation. Big ups from him. Then we got DJ on the track, Webb, $10.99. DJ Webb dropping it in there. Then we cha-cha slide down to the Sage. The Sage with the $10 donation. Appreciate that from the Sage. We're catching that second win. We're catching that second win. Because we got Dale B. $20 donation. Dropping it in there. We got Minister RC with the $9.99. Let's go. Let's go. We got Jonathan McMillan with a $20 donation in there. Holy cow. And then, oh gosh, Randy Savage Macho Man Harris. Randy Harris with the $2 donation. Helping us out on the show. All of you guys. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate all of you. Eli, my God, need another air pump. Oh man, there's one more. One for the money, two for the show. Clap your hands if you got the bankroll. Ty Alexander. $1.99. Dropping it in there. Because of you, Bama fan base. We hit the goal of $100, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Woo! Eli, I'm gonna need an NIL deal from these air pumps, man. I promise you. You laughing, Eli? I'm dead serious, bro. I need a NIL deal from one of these air pumps, man, for real. It's because of you, the fans, man. We thank you guys. We thank you guys. Cool call topic right now, folks. Remember last year when you had Governor Ivey of Alabama, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas? They betted on the game last year. Well, now we got both mayors betting. You got Mayor Walt Maddox of Tuscaloosa, and then you got the mayor of Austin, Texas, putting a wager on this game. Oh, man. I wonder what the wager is. I don't think nobody has announced what it is, but it's going to be very intriguing to see what that wager is. Anyway, you got the mayors betting on this game. We're going to go to our final break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we tidy up loose ends of this discussion. Does Bama run the table undefeated if it handles Texas? We'll talk about it and wrap things up after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
As I'm chuckling in here, as we're back from the break, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Wednesday hump day. There was a comment in the chat now that Eli pointed out that said Stephen needs to be yelling at the players on the team. I got the voice to do it. I mean, if Coach Saban would pay me, I would probably do it for free. But if Coach Saban was to give me a contract and my only job would be to get the players' mind right as they come out the tunnel, yelling and screaming, I'd totally do it. Are you kidding me? I'd totally do it. I mean, I don't know if I got that Scott Cochran yell, his yell different, but I would put forth my best effort, I tell you that. Especially if Coach Saban write out a couple commas and some zeros. Yeah, I'll be out there. Real talk, I'll be out there. Eli would be recording me and putting me on the 6 o'clock news, though. He just gave me a thumbs up. Eli would do that. Local guy being a live nut yelling at players. That'd probably be the headline right there. Anyway, final topic of conversation, folks. Discussion here. Alabama, Texas. We all know this is a big game. Everybody's talking about it. It's been hyped up. National media, local media, everybody will be ants on a bone in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. The question is, does Alabama run the table undefeated if it handles Texas? That's the question. You think Alabama runs the table undefeated if it manhandles Texas? To me, I think it's got a legit shot to do so, depending on how it plays this game. If Alabama's offense comes out here on a roll, on fire, if Bama's defense comes out here, knocks Quinn Ewers left to right, Texas can't establish anything. If Alabama comes in here and just runs Texas out of Bryant-Denny, it's got a real shot to run the table. Because I think this is the game where you figure out, where we all figure out who this team is, what this team is. I know a lot of you are thinking, Steven, you still got to play Texas A&M. You still got to play Tennessee. You still got to play LSU. You still got to play Auburn. There's other teams you got to play. And that's absolutely correct. You're right about that. But if Alabama takes the blowtorch to Texas, like if they take Texas to the woodshed and just completely embarrass Steve Sarkisian on national TV, people, Bama can run the table. Literally. Bama can legitimately run the table. Undefeated. If it comes out here and it treats Texas like a motherless child. If it does Texas like that, I'm just saying. And I understand Longhorns have got talent. Quinn Ewers is talented. Xavier Worthy is talented. They got tight end, last name Sanders. He's talented. They got defensive players talented. They got a lot of coaches on the staff. Some of them have worked with Coach Saban before. So they know what's going on. But if Alabama comes out here and completely manhandles Texas, you could 100% make the conversation Bama can go undefeated and run the table. But I will have my eyes, Eli, this weekend here, this matchup from inside the press box. It's going to be fun for me to watch this. I got to see this. Texas fans are begging for Steve Sarkisian to win a marquee game. Begging for it. Alabama fans, you want to see a team that hungry, nasty, physical, dominant on all keys in this primetime matchup. I want to see the stadium packed out. I think the stadium will be packed out. Back-to-back night games. First MTSU, now this. Gonna be packed out. But folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Now, you download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on, well, I'll be at Alumni Hall on Friday in Tuscaloosa, live from Alumni Hall on Friday, doing this show right here in my own words, want you guys checking us out right there. As always, Bama Nation, you can get individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine, have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. You can also get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA, the magazine. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description as well. Gotta shout out all of you, the Bama fans, for all the calls, donations, chatting, conversations, the energy, the passion from you guys, making this your show, your spot, your network, your channel to talk all things Bama football. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio, handling things from behind the scenes. Eli, do we have one more super chat? I thought I heard something ding there. If we got one more super chat, I definitely want to shout this out here. I believe we do. Let's see who this is, Eli, to end out the show. Got to give them their proper due here and respect here. As Eli's getting the name typed out, we got Lorez Mooney! Lorez Mooney in here, or Lars Mooney in here, with that $5 donation. And the super chats, appreciate that. Rounding out the show. Always, people, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored and getting that schoolwork in there. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.